Hey everyone, this is Rob,
And Michelle?
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape.
Meet Merp.
Merp.
You
All right,
never
so
do it.
this week up on the docket, there is yet again not much going on this week. Kind of a light month
Speak for
overall.
yourself.
I'm talking about game stuff, yeah, but
Oh, me too.
all right. Yeah, so not a ton to go over, but of course, as always, we're going to be starting off with what we have been up to this week. Then we'll jump into this week's update, which as of Wednesday is really just a couple of POH improvements, but we'll go over that nonetheless and end off with our Q&A as per usual. And if you want to join in on the Q&A, feel free to ask us any questions. If you're listening on Spotify, we have a place over there to ask questions. Also, discord.gg/boonbabe. Join our Discord. We also have a question section there. But before we get into all that really cool stuff that we have lined up, Michelle, how's it going?
Really freaking good.
Okay.
I got scary. Applause.
Yeah,
Clap.
applause.
Clap to your cheeks.
Oh, we're doing
No hands.
No, we're doing
I
what?
just heard clap your cheeks. Clap no hands.
Your cheeks with no hands.
I got the scurriest pet finally. It took me 15,594 KC. I was rank 15. I had a 99.44 chance to gain the pet before then. I'm finally free, and the clip is so cheesy because I was talking about people who are like, oh, why do you love blah blah blah? And I was like, I don't know, I feel like that's so lame. And I was like, listening, I love Robert because he's nice and he's funny and he's my best friend. And they said I sounded gay, and then I got the pet, and I was like, well, that's the clip now.
Yep, that's the clip, dude.
And someone, I don't know, I think it was Koflight, clipped it so early that it's just like 20 seconds of me talking about you, and then 10 seconds of me being like, holy sh, like super excited.
Yeah, she actually reacted to getting the pet semi-normally.
Yeah,
So
I
that
didn't
was
say no, 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 no.
that was probably the weirdest part of the whole clip.
I mean, I still do what I normally do, which is repeat myself over and over. I said, oh my God, like 20 times. And then I said, holy sh, I don't want to beep this out later, like 20 times.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I just like bank stood outside of the Scariest's lair for a
Outside of the
while.
bank.
No, I wasn't even at the bank. I was in the Varrock sewers.
That's weird.
'Cause
That's
I was
not, you know, bank standing isn't just a term of endearment or something.
I
like
was sitting around
Okay, there we go.
menacingly with my pet.
You're
And-
like, I was bank standing in the wilderness.
Yeah, but it was funny because a couple people came to me in the Varrock sewers to see my pet because I was like, I need to post this on Twitter and Blue Sky and Instagram, and I was DMing people. I tagged everyone on our Discord, added everyone. I did the same thing when I got Tangaroo.
Yeah, so you just were sitting out on your home's porch, and people came and checked out your pet.
Yeah, my porch is basically there. Well,
You're moving now.
I'm moving. I don't know what to do. It's funny because people were like, oh, now you could raid. And I was like, you know what I want to do is see if I can get 2 rodents in one night. So I went to Giant Mole. Didn't get it. And then I just played Skyrim because I'm kind of not sure what I want to do. So maybe we'll go back to raiding. I have someone do like Huey, and there's so much stuff to do. I want to get back to doing COAs too.
You can actually play the game now.
Yeah, I was joking with Robert how people will be like, oh, can't wait to max so I can finally play the game. And like, you know, I get it now. I got Scurious and now I feel like I can finally play the game. So I'm really super duper excited about it. Oh, and last week I thought I was the driest in the game. Turns out someone else rank 5 in high scores, Deer, is like 18,000 without the pet.
So you weren't even close.
So I'm a liar.
You were never even close.
Well, that's actually similar to what I was going to say as well.
Yeah, you were never even remotely ever close.
Because I like tweeted it and got like 200 likes and stuff. And it's like, oh, that was wrong.
Yeah, you were inaccurate.
Anyway, though, that aside, I had a boob biopsy yesterday.
Wow.
Crazy.
She is an oversharer if this is also your first time listening.
And I'm trying to get diagnosed with ADHD. Speaking of, that's a symptom of it.
Wow.
So I'm going to try and do that in a couple weeks. But the biopsy, well, I'm keeping you updated. You know, I've mentioned it a few times.
Yeah, to keep everyone updated, she's also going to go see a dermatologist and maybe a therapist.
I've been breaking out. Well, I need to find a therapist somewhere else separately to talk to normally because I want to go somewhere who I can get an emotional support animal letter from eventually. Anyway, it's a whole thing. But the boob thing, I've had a lump on my boob for a couple months, and like, last time we talked about it, I got an X-ray or a sonogram rather, and they were like, we can't even find it. Like, it's probably just fat tissue. You guys all remember my joke? I joked about being diagnosed with fat titties. It was
True.
funny.
Yeah.
Yesterday, a surgeon felt it and was like, yeah, it feels normal. You don't have to get biopsy, but if they give you peace of mind, you could get it. So I got it just because I'm a paranoid baby.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize what they do. They numbed it so I couldn't tell. I had my eyes closed. They core it.
Yeah. So anyone that's ever
Explain
seen
it, please.
like a,
Tell them what you saw.
I think it's really common. You've seen it in like movies and stuff.
Or like an apple core.
Okay, not. I mean, yeah, I guess so.
That's what immediately
I
thought of.
Yeah, the most.
It's not that big.
Maybe the most relatable one is coring an apple, but yeah, like I thought of like whenever, especially for like drilling for oil and stuff like that, they'll take like core samples of the earth, or you can do that for archaeology or for a ton of different professions. But yeah, essentially that they're just drilling into whatever,
Doesn't make me feel better at all.
and then they take out a sample to see, what's going on down there.
I didn't realize though. I thought it was just like a shot, and Robert told me that they cut me with a scalpel.
They did.
So that freaked me out. I was
Yeah.
numbed up. But yeah, I have like a bruise on my boob now. It's weird. And all day I've been scared because I keep imagining there being like a hole, even though I know it's not a hole.
Yeah.
It was kind of a hole for a little bit though.
No, it
Freaky.
definitely was.
Yucky. But yeah, I'll find out about that next week and probably update you guys all. It would be crazy if it was anything. Everyone I've spoken to is fairly certain it's nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway, check your boobs if you have them. Always good to self-test. I just did it randomly one day. Like, I was just sitting there and I was like, oh, I should do that. And looked at my arm and I was like, wait a second, what? And
Yeah.
I'd seen my doctor within like 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then also, I guess, not to get too off topic, but guys should also check themselves. I have had 2 friends with prostate cancer and one passed away.
Prostate cancer?
Yep.
I thought it was testicular.
Oh, what am I saying? Prostate cancer. Yeah, no, it was testicular.
Which is even less likely to pass away from, right?
I think both of them are not good.
Yeah.
But that being said, the one that I meant to say is testicular, and that one's much more common.
check your bodies just so you know. This
But-
is like turn to a PSA, but
Yeah,
you
you
want to
should-
know what your baseline is.
Yeah, you should also get prostate checks too.
Yeah. But yeah, like if you never, it sounds gross, but if you never like poke around, you're not going to know what's normal for you.
True.
And if something abnormal shows up, you'll be like, oh, that's probably just always been
Or,
there.
You could, and people,
to a
this
doctor.
this is not even a joke. You could just, let it ride. Some people are like, I don't want to know. If it ends early, it ends early.
Robert used to say stuff like that, and I'm like, I hate that.
Some people, prefer that.
I don't want that.
Well, that's not up to you.
It is. Who's going to take care of Moose and Goose with me if something happened to you?
Oh, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about people having
Yeah,
freedom
they're
of
fine,
choice.
but you.
All right, you're stupid.
But scurrious, biopsies, all that.
Yeah, do you have any actual game things you did?
Scurrious. God, it's like you don't even care.
That's like 1 second.
It was my 13th pet. Woo! So I'm super excited about it. It's just like all day it's felt unreal. I keep remembering at work and being like, wow, that's crazy.
Nice.
How are you? What have you been up to?
I
Kitties have
have
been falling in love with you all weekend. Talk about that.
playing with cats. No, I have been playing a bit of video games, dude.
Something of a gamer myself.
Something of a gamer. Still not playing RuneScape. Couldn't be me.
You've gotten close, right?
I had thought about it, and then I was like, wait, I hate that game. Can't do it.
Another 2 months you'll probably be. It's like every 6 months.
The thing is, honestly, this isn't. Oh, one, I did make a mistake a little bit ago whenever I said the price of membership went from 114 to 140.
Yeah, I was like,
That was in
oh,
Australian dollars.
that makes more
Still
sense.
proportionately the same in US dollars. But I think it went from like I think it was like 80 to 90. So it's still not.
Mine was 100, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like 99. Like it's pretty much 100. But
I was very confused by that.
yeah, still, because anyone that doesn't know, Australians, I think their minimum wage is like really high now. It's like 20 something dollars because they get paid a lot more dollars because they're not worth as much, so that's how it goes. So proportionally it did go up, similarly. So, but I was wrong on that. And that kind of leads into my point is, funny enough, if the game was cheaper, how it used to be like 3 or 4 years ago, I actually probably would have resubscribed, but I just don't want to. I don't like doing month to month because it is so expensive. It's like
They have
$15 or
They have
whatever.
like 3-month packages, right?
No, they removed that. There's only 1, 6, and 12.
Ew.
I used to do the 3 sometimes.
Ugh. I feel like you'll definitely. There's probably almost no way you'll never play it again, but you'll probably just do the 6 month if you do.
I don't know, maybe. But then I was like, oh,
I love your Pirate Cure account.
yeah,
No one really knows the purpose of that except for us, but don't say it just in case you ever go back.
yeah.
That would be a fun one.
I also thought I was like, oh, maybe I can go back and try to do free to play, but then I was like, I don't want to do free to play, and then they put ads in it, so I was like, I don't want to do that. So
Valid.
I haven't been playing, but I've been playing. I played a bit of League of Legends. That's cool, I guess. And then I was ranking up, dude.
Yeah.
Big rankers. It was cool because I was watching someone coaching on how to play the jungle of League of Legends, and they were saying that the goal is to make the other person wish they didn't log in. So that was great coaching sessions. I liked that.
Insane.
Besides that, though, I was playing a bit of Path of Exile. There was a new event, essentially a new league for all intents and purposes. It's been extended because they were working on Path of Exile 2, and they're like, oh, it's taking too much time, so we didn't have really anything to do with Path of Exile 1, so there's like a holdover event. So for anyone that cares at all, which is probably like one person.
I mean, they're popular games.
Yeah.
It's funny how little I know. Like, he plays these games all the time, but how little I know that the other day I was like, oh, just playing some League. It was Path of Exile.
It was not even, and they don't even look the same. Not even close.
I don't know what League looks like, I've realized.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm playing a Earth Shatter Marauder.
And isn't it like Steve-O or something?
Steve-O.
What's the guy?
No. My character's name?
No, like,
Steve-O?
it's League of Legends. The one that everyone thinks is annoying.
She just called Shaco Steve-O.
I knew it wasn't Steve-O, but...
Nope, it's Steve-O now.
Your Steve-O build?
Yeah, totally different games. But yeah, so
Right.
I've been playing those games. For anyone that is looking into getting into like, or looking at upcoming games, the Steam Fest is out right now, which there is no games actually available with Steam Fest. It's just previews for a bunch of games. And because of that, there's a bunch of free demos for games that are coming out. So if you want to try them out, they're free. You can check it out on Steam, obviously.
That's kind of cool.
The only game stuff that I thought was kind of interesting.
I want to go play games.
Yeah.
And then I just sit here and don't.
True.
I started watching Yellow Jackets on Netflix, and it's really good if you like creepier shows.
Okay, we're going to move on. No more show talk.
I want to watch it so bad.
Anyways, though, we do have an update for this week. The Game Jam POH improvements.
I had to log in to make sure because I was confused by the title, and I was like, these are in the game now, right? Because they said Game Jam in the title, it confused me a little bit.
Yeah, I had to read the first sentence a few times, but yes, it is in the game.
I said it was in the game, but I still checked. I was paranoid.
Okay. There are some known issues that are getting either fixed, investigated, or cold fixed. So we'll start off with some rendering issues following today's update. So this includes the tightrope barrier of Chambers of Zarek and the boulder and volcanic mine.
Those have been cold fixed, or going to be cold fixed. Just say what's happening.
Oh, I
You said it could be any of the
I led
three.
into it.
Yeah.
All right.
Next one is being investigated. We're aware of the missing dolmens in the While Gothic Sleeps quest, blocking the quest progress.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
unfortunate.
really annoying.
Hopefully you've already done the quest or quit the game. We're aware that players are getting higher than expected XP rates with the synapse changes, and this has been hotfixed.
Also, what's insane is before they hotfixed it, they reduced the XP rates. Or no, actually just now. How they hotfixed it was reducing XP rates while they work on a longer term fix.
Yeah.
So just don't train using that right now.
Well, I mean,
Unless
they
you have to.
nerfed it already, so there's no point.
So the doors of POHs, using the 2 new wall kits could not be open or shut. That has now been hotfixed, so they can be.
Yep, and that's it.
Huge.
Also, they do know that some players still have league points that are not accurate, and they're still working on it.
Cool.
Besides that, though, we do have some player-owned housing changes. Also, player-owned housing is there's going to be a new expansion for World of Warcraft coming out fairly soon, and that is finally, for the first time in the 20-plus years the game's been out, is introducing player-owned housing, which the community has been asking for like literally 15 years.
They didn't have
straight.
that?
No.
I thought they had like halls where people could decorate. Only in Final Fantasy.
Nope. Yep.
Never mind.
There was like a house type of thing. It was called a garrison. There was no like real customization. There was like ways to level it up, but it disappeared after the expansion was over.
That's kind of funny.
So I mean, it's still there, and you can still go to it, but there's no reason.
We're winning in that one regard.
Yeah, so they're actually finally bringing those to WoW, so that's kind of cool. I will not be playing WoW. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Wait, we're cooking now. All
You mean
right.
bow?
All right. This is a WoW stream now.
Yeah, so starting out with mounted heads, Robert, real quick, if you would direct your attention to Goose, she's just so cute. She keeps closing her eyes. Anyway,
Yeah, she's sleeping on my chair.
she sits on her chair, his chair. Sorry, it's not hers.
Yeah.
Most of the time, like she's a little gamer. She's like, oh, it's game time. I'm going to sit there. So, trophy collectors, heads up. Yeah. Our J-mods have cooked up a real treat for you this time. No longer must you suffer the indignity of tearing down an entire wall just to swap out your latest gruesome prize. With this update, you can now swap your mounted heads instantly without needing to rebuild from scratch. So they gave some instructions on how this works. While in building mode, click the trophies option on your mounted display to open the new mounted trophies menu. Then click on the stuffed heads in your inventory to mount them. The stuffed head will be added to your trophy board, allowing you to instantly swap between them. Once a head has been mounted in your collection, you can now display on any eligible trophy stand across your house, even in multiple halls at once. You can still mount additional copies of the stuffed heads in the future for construction XP. Guests can now admire your entire trophy collection. I was kind of curious. Do you think that means you could have different heads in different halls?
No.
That's lame. Yeah, that tracks.
I wouldn't imagine so.
We don't know that for sure.
But I don't know. If you want to, go ahead and make 9 different trophy halls and let us know if you can change them.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in that.
I mean, you could test it with 2 right away. I just said 9 because I think that's how many trophies there are. 3, 5, 4, 9.
That reminds me of them talking about you don't have to like keep wasting them, like rebuilding them. Whenever, freaking for years, I didn't know that you can just click on a layout and move your house around. I thought if you want to, you had to delete and re-add the rooms.
Oh, nice.
You know, I did that with like, what was it? I did it with my spellbook swapper. I remember because I had to spend like so much money on stuff for it.
The altar?
Yeah, I was like, unfortunately, I have to delete this and re-add it.
Unfortunately.
No one told me.
Well, you didn't ask.
Why would I even think to ask?
Well, how would I think to answer?
Oh my god. Anyway, this was before I even streamed.
I was thinking this is cool, but yo, what's up with the jar?
Oh.
Why does this jar not have this functionality?
Surely they're gonna add it. The jars you can't.
I don't know. Can you?
I think I only have one jar thing.
The thing is, like, you're not destroying the jar, I don't think, to replace it.
Yeah, you probably can get returned.
But I was just wondering, like, why don't you just store it? And then you're like, I'm tired of looking at Vorcad. Let's swap it to another jar.
I'm tired of catering to ultimates.
Oh, okay.
Why would we store that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so they also extended the feature to your stuffed fish display too.
Give us the little shrimp in the pictures you had, you cowards.
Okay.
They had a little shrimp on it, and that doesn't even exist. I want it.
And this also applies when you upgrade your display. While the usual level requirements for mounting heads remain unchanged, you can now swap heads freely if you have a higher tier space built and you want to apply a lower level trophy head. So for level 38, you could do teak trophy spaces, crawling hand, cockatrice, and basilisk.
Level 58 is mahogany trophy space with Kurask, Abyssal Demon, and the classics above.
78 is going to be gilded trophy spaces showing off KBD, KQ, plus everything before.
And 82 is gilded trophy space, again, I guess, with Vorkath and Alchemical Hydra along with all the other ones. So before, based on what they're saying is if you had gilded, you couldn't put, like, the basilisk.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Okay, Oddflex. You know what else I feel like they should change? Is you should be able to decide which version of the menagerie that you have.
Menagerie.
I like the highest one because I like that it looks like elfy, but if people want it to look like emo, you have to have the lower level, and I think that's kind of goofy.
Also, I think I'm going to go back on my word and say that I do think you might be able to mount different heads if you have multiple halls.
Does this picture have multiple?
Just because I was thinking of if you have multiple menageries, you can have multiple different pets in them.
I was going to ask, I can have 2 menageries so my pets wander around more?
No, you can have 2 menageries so you can put, because menageries,
half of them in one and half in the other.
Menageries have limits.
Yeah.
So if you have like 40 pets, I don't know I'm not even gonna pretend to know the max on the highest menagerie.
It's like 90.
But yeah, if you have, I think if you have like 2 of the smaller ones, you can divide them up.
I was talking about yesterday how I'd want to divide them up in 2 rooms just because right now, if you put them in the menagerie, they kind of exploit the 3 rooms around it.
Yeah.
But I'd want it to be like even more rooms with pets. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe I could just split them in half, like put half over here, half over there.
Yeah.
I haven't tested it out though.
I could totally be wrong in this, but I have like the faintest memory that I saw someone with 2 menageries in their place with different pets in each.
Either
That could have been a dream though.
or it would just be a good idea and they should do that if it's not.
Yeah, I feel like that should just be obvious. I don't know why.
And you should be able to change the style.
I can see them not having that, but I could also see them having that, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're
And
kind of weird with the rules.
I'm not going to look it up because that is kind of a niche thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'd find the answer right away.
True.
Anyways, though, something you can find the answer for right away
Cool segue.
is if you want to
Oh, new house style.
look for a new house style. If you want to freshen up the way your house looks, if you're tired of it looking like molten walls are everywhere yet again, you can make it look very sad.
I don't think you get molten walls anywhere. But anyway, the canvas style is perfect for hosting house parties under the full moon and comes with dank, swampy aesthetic.
Dank.
Whenever people say dank, I think like cool or like delicious. I don't think dark, which I guess you should. It looks
Yeah,
like
that's the real
you're
meaning.
in canvas on the ground. It's like the pretty like greenish blue ground, more like dark outside of it. It looks nice. A little
Yeah.
too emo for me.
Has like little seaweed roots coming out of the ground.
Yeah, it does.
And also, something that is probably appealing to more people, if I had to guess, is going to be the Civitas style.
Civitas Illifortis.
Yeah.
So this truly classic look is a perfect fit for those looking to party with the Perrikins. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little more Savannah looking.
Yeah.
So there's.
I don't love the Savannah, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I like the Hasidius more. I like just like super green.
Oh.
I wish we had like a gnome version. I don't know what would be different.
I wish you could just have like patches of nothing in your house.
Well, that's not an option.
Yeah, like I wish you could just like have like the middle floor be like nothing and then just surround your house around it.
Like a courtyard.
Well, yeah, that's what
Well,
people do with the garden and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can do and just add nothing to it, but technically there are rooms.
Yeah.
I like these 2 houses. For some reason, I was convinced we were gonna get like a Prifddinas version. We didn't,
Yeah.
so that was a bit of a bummer.
Well,
But
yeah,
okay.
I'm actually kind of curious now. Which do you think you would like more? We'll probably have a poll, or you could just answer the question.
Let's answer 2.
Would you like the Canifis dank style more, or the Civitas Savannah style more?
Want to answer on 3?
I think we both know each other's answers.
Well, let's say our own.
Sure.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Savannah.
Canvas.
Okay,
I
there
think
we
you
go.
did choose Savannah.
Yeah.
Did you think I choose Canvas?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, we have some updated animations. These are actually kind of cool.
Yeah, they're cute. So as part of our ongoing visual refresh, we've spruced up several animations to make furniture interactions smoother and more immersive. So first is the sitting animation. Both regular sitting and throne sitting have received fresh animation updates, making you look even more impressive as you take your place on your throne. It looks like you're almost like moving your foot like, what's it called? Impatiently.
Yeah.
It's cute. Your arms are crossed. You're just vibing. Also, there's crystal thrones.
Also, why are the thrones not the correct sitting height? What giant is sitting in this throne?
You.
Like they're a full foot off of the ground.
Yeah, it's not very ergonomic, but
Yeah, definitely not. Next is going to be the combat ring. So if you're stepping into battle, then the entry and exit animations for combat rings have been reworked, making your grand entrances and exits better than ever.
it's kind of like it shows your legs on the side when you're hopping over it.
Yeah, it just looks like a jumping over a
how it
fence
should.
animation.
Treasure and storage interactions. So opening and closing display cases, wardrobes, and boxes now looks much smoother, adding a touch of polish to your storage units. Storage units.
Yeah.
They didn't say that.
And also
This is the most important.
the Trailblazer Globe enhancement. You can now spin and inspect the Trailblazer Globe. And yeah,
They put wee.
wee.
I don't know why, but I love this. I love that they're like, you know what, this globe needs to spin. Good for them.
Yeah, kind of weird, but okay.
Next is the Leagues Hall Inspect. We've also had new animations when inspecting the Leagues Hall, similar to those you may have noticed at the Varrock Museum. Just like your arms crossed, and you're like, wow, this is really cool.
You're like, wow, that's a trophy. And if you liked more rooms inside of your rooms, well, we have that. So if you ever wish to expand your mansion, but pesky room limits are holding you back, then no longer. The room capacity has expanded, and you'll now get 4 more rooms than before, depending on your construction level. As
It's not even
before,
that much more.
no, it's not. As before, your room cap increases every 6 levels across most of the skill, and they have a full thing showing that at level 1 you get 24 rooms, and for instance at level 50 you get 29 rooms, and finally at 99 you get 38.
I've never realized you need that much. The maximum dimensions are 7 by 7. Didn't know that.
Yeah, you can't have an infinitely, like, singularly long hallway that is a house.
That'd be actually pretty funny.
That would be. I mean, 7 rooms is still pretty long, so you could technically do that if
I
you
want
wanted
to be like, you're zooming out and you can't see the end.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah. No, that's not happening. That's
You
it,
wanna read it? Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, though, just in case you need more excuses to get your house in order, the bookcase is now alphabetized and fits onto a single menu.
Thank God.
And lastly, the Beaver Pets dialogue in the menagerie now functions correctly for all recolored variants.
Cool. That is the POH updates. And we're still going to get the other stuff. They're talking about like rugs and curtain recolors, right?
Yeah.
That's probably much lower on the importance board.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would say that. Probably not as soon as this. But I think eventually they did mention they're going to do that too.
Yeah, probably. And speaking of eventually, we eventually got some updated info on Royal Titans.
Okay.
So this is something that people had noticed almost immediately, is that whenever the Titans were closer and you were using ranged, you missed more often. And this is not an accident. So
Yeah. Do you want to read that first line? I like it. It's kind of cute.
we see you, DPS calculator divas.
So some of you have been diving deep into the minds of the Sacred Wiki, trying to figure out exactly what's going on with the Royal Titan's range defense when they start moving from melee. So, confirmed, the moment a Royal Titan starts retreating from melee range, it becomes far more vulnerable to range attacks. While in this state, your range accuracy gets a whopping 500% boost, meaning your hits are going to land more reliably. I feel like I still don't hit much. This effect lasts until the Titan turns around to re-engage in melee, so keep the arrows flying while you can. The accuracy buff also applies during the charge up pulse attack in stage 3, covering both the charging phases and the attack itself.
Yeah.
So actually switch, don't just use range during that part, and don't use range ones in melee.
Yeah, or just go to the...
Or just do what you gotta do.
If there is one in melee, fight the one in melee, or, yeah. Because, I mean, range is worth it, but maybe not.
Next up, we have some RuneFest stuff. RuneFest is happening this weekend.
It is this weekend. Just
Can you believe we're going?
a little over 5 days away, something like that.
No, I was thinking it was 5 days away. There's only 28 days this month. It's in like 3 days.
Yeah, huge.
I kept getting confused because they were like,
Big.
it's on a Saturday, March 1st. And I was like, that's not for like a week.
Yeah, it
'Cause
is
I'm not,
in 3
I'm not
days.
used to February being short. We're not actually going, by the way. I was joking. I do wish I was going. There's people I want to see, especially Fem. I love her so much.
Also, I have a bit of a riddle. Speaking of 28 days,
Okay.
of all the months in the year, which ones have 28 days?
Just February.
Put your answer in the comments and we'll see who's right. So the ultimate celebration of all things RuneScape is back for the first time in a million years. Obviously, it was postponed. For anyone that didn't know, it was postponed, and then it was put back on, and then...
It's supposed to be last September. It's postponed 6 months.
Yeah, well, I meant it was postponed for...
Oh, COVID.
Yeah, and then put back on, but then there's a falling out with the company that was putting on the show.
AKA, they stopped being a company.
Yeah, they laid off all their employees and stopped being a company. And so they had to postpone it yet again, and now we're finally back, and it is going to be happening this weekend. If you don't have your tickets, too bad. It's already long sold out.
It was sold out day of. We
Yeah.
had no chance.
And if you can't make it in person, though, like most of us can't, don't worry, because there's plenty of ways to watch. There's going to be a live stream.
Yeah. So this is going to include exclusive reveals about the future game content of OSRS. They're going to be streaming the summit. They're not calling it the Winter Summit because
Yeah.
they
it was
wanted-
longer than they thought.
because it was very clearly it was supposed to be in September. It was going to be summer.
Yeah.
And now it's a little too late to be winter, so they're just calling it The summit TM.
Yeah, you can't call it the winter summit when it's 82 degrees tomorrow.
Yeah, it's also, we're going through a heat wave tomorrow. Our biggest announcements event of the year, so you can experience it alongside the rest of the community. That will be Saturday, March 1st at 14:30 GMT on twitch.tv/oldschoolrs.
Yeah, so 4:30 PST. AM.
What's 14 minus 8? It's at 8 a.m.
Oh, wait, is it?
Yeah.
No, I thought that was, it's at 14:30.
14 minus 8. Wait, 14 minus
Oh,
is
6 a.m.
6.
Sorry. I thought I said 12:30.
We're both so, math's our passion.
Yeah.
Other than RuneScape, math.
No, totally not. But yeah, either way, it is very early for anyone on the West Coast. Good luck.
Yeah. Join the conversation on Discord. They are going to be running dedicated RuneFest channels in the official Discord where you can discuss the announcements, etc., etc. So some of the channels are RuneFest for general discussion, pin trading to swap and trade exclusive RuneFest pins with other attendees, RF Pictures to share your pictures from the event, and Summit to discuss predictions, react to live announcements, and watch the summit with fellow players. Maybe, because we record the podcast over 2 days, maybe we'll try to think of some predictions, but they didn't give a roadmap, so I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, we already, I think it was obvious as far as predictions go. We already said the summit was going to be during RuneFest.
Well, yeah, but if you have any ideas for what the summit will include, I have no idea. I really count on the roadmaps to give me an idea of how much stuff.
I know we're not going to get a new raid.
I can see them maybe announcing whatever the Mage Coliseum Inferno will be, since they did bring that up.
I mean,
but I don't think it'll come out
so.
till next year, though.
Yeah, so they're going to announce one of the things on the roadmap is going to be the Delve, even though they've already pretty much announced it.
Do you think Barlamore 3 will be on there, despite the fact it already being announced?
Yeah,
They do be adding stuff that we already know about.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's either going to be terrible like the time before last where they're all like, oh, the Christmas update.
That was crazy. And the Halloween update.
The Halloween update.
Like the last one, I didn't love all the announcements, like the Project Scenaris, but
yeah,
that was pretty unique.
I'm going to guess that there's going to be 5 panels in the update.
Okay.
In the summit, and one of them is going to be for Varlamore, and that's going to include the Delve boss.
Yeah, they won't do 2 separates. I could see that.
Yeah. And then I think there's going to be a sailing beta in there somewhere.
You think so?
Yeah, but it'll be, I mean,
like a closed beta, invite only.
Maybe.
I think that's already happening.
I think so. I think that has happened before, but I mean, within the next 6 months, I could see there being a beta. There might even be.
Well, they did specifically say biggest announcement event of the year, meaning that the next winter won't be till like January, probably.
Yeah, but I mean, they've already announced that there's going to be a work in progress, like alpha, for the movement of sailing.
Yeah.
So I think they're either going to put that on there, or it's just going to be a beta later in the year or something like that.
I think we're gonna get whatever that next quest is, because remember they added a quest and like it's the penultimate one.
Yeah, I think we'll get
whatever that is. I think we'll get the final, unless we already did. I'm totally tripping.
I don't know what the last 2 panels will be. It'll either be 2 quests and a boss, or one quest and 2 bosses.
I think 1 quest, a boss, and then there's always a wild card, like something we don't expect. We would have never guessed Project Scenaris.
Well, yeah.
Whether you like it or not, you have to admit we would have never guessed it.
Yeah, I hope. Man, that was. Yeah, I still don't think that's a good idea.
I was positive at first, and I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Whatever. You guys can spend money on whatever you want. I'm just gonna judge a little bit.
It's just kind of lame, but whatever. I'm sure we'll think it's really cool later on. Surely.
Maybe we'll look back at this and be like, we didn't even know.
Yeah, but yeah, that's gonna be it for that. You can join on Discord, and there's going to be a Fashionscape contest. So I can't leave without saying this, is that there's going to be a little bit of a Discord Fashionscape competition. So if you think you look pretty fantastic in game, then feel free to enter in the Fashionscape competition channel on Discord, and you can win some plushies.
All these plushies don't exist anymore.
Yeah, so all of these are like collectible plushies.
Yeah, the Wise Old Man is for best dress, King Black Dragon is for most creative, and El Vargas for funniest.
Yeah, and the winners will be announced.
It probably wouldn't have won.
The winner will be announced on the summit, so it will be announced live.
Oh, that's cool. So if you guys want to enter that and you're at RuneFest, you have to enter it on the Discord channel, it looks like.
Yeah.
You're not going to like stand up on a stage.
All right, it is the next day, and I don't think either of us have updates, but I
We
did want to
don't.
update you guys that I was watching a League of Legends video yesterday, and I screenshotted that I was getting ads for RuneScape.
You were?
Yeah, I've actually
Wait, that's
gotten
funny.
I've gotten ads for RuneScape a couple times on YouTube these
You
days.
should try playing it.
I don't know. It looks a little too click intensive for me.
We love clicking.
But
We
yeah,
love it.
so no real updates. Wearing the same shirt. We can go right into merch. We have some U2's figures that are now live. These are the ones that we mentioned last week that include some of the Gnome Child with a random 1 out of 4 quotes, and then also some Wise Old Man stuff. And I think they're around $30, so you can go pick them up.
Which one would you want?
I guess the Gnome Child.
I like that you sing on a mushroom.
And I would probably, if I wanted it to be funnier, I would like just get like something to tape over the words and like put something funny.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
like Borp would be looking to Bussers.
Yeah. Or yeah, something like they should have put like something like buying GF or something funnier.
Instead
Like
of hello, would you like a worm?
all of the signs that the Gnome Child's holding up they're just not that funny. But
Oh, well, that's how he acts. So it's very rude of you to say that about him right now.
okay, yeah, the Gnome Child's not funny. There you go. Yep.
That was rude. Okay,
there you go.
anyway, moving on. Well, you guys have until the 21st to pre-order that. And it's per all the merch low-key like this, it is a one-time opportunity, one spaghetti. So make sure if you want to order it now.
Yeah, and if I mean maybe you'll get lucky and you enter into a competition like they're having right now, and you'll get like an older one from then. But as far as buying it goes, this is probably they usually do just all these one-shot drops.
I know, I can't believe that they're giving away plushies
Yeah.
for the best cosplay. That's crazy.
Yep. And speaking of stuff that they're giving away, they are not giving away these next things because they're just too cool.
You can't just say moving on. You have to try to do that.
I didn't try to do anything. I successfully teased that they are having limited edition anniversary line pins from Angelscapes. If you're a pin collector, I think these are probably a must-have because they are, like I said, anniversary specials. It is a garage door with balloons.
That's a 12.
As well as the ancient or the Dragonfire shield. Both of them are holographic pins in that they shine in a special kind of way.
Is he? I mean, the dragon one is rainbow, like rainbow anodized. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
So like pretty metallic-y. It looks very cool. I wish that I was a pin collector because honestly, it seems like such a cool and easy collection to have. But I just don't know what I do with them.
True. They are 10 pounds if you do want to buy them. And you can just
I
get
thought you did it weight-wise. I was like, they're pens. They're not 10
pins.
pounds.
No, they're 10 pounds price, and you can pre-order them now on the RuneScape site. They look kind of cool. But yeah.
Which one do you like more?
I think garage door.
I like the shield.
Okay. Then we have the biggest part of the update so far.
Other changes, starting out with one client and mobile update. Fix an issue where the Kingdom Management UI displayed a solid white background on mobile.
They added a revert option for the Emberlight, Purging Staff, and Scorching Bow to allow players to convert them back into a synapse. Any charges or infusions will be lost in the process, though.
Updated combat achievement notifications displayed on transparent chat boxes to prioritize the walk here option instead of view task.
You will now have one tick to walk away before getting venomed if you accidentally walk into a cursed baboon.
That one's actually really nice. That's for TOA.
Yep.
Graceful now displays the percentage bonus boost to run energy restoration rate in the equipment stats menu.
What's nice is the Echo Virtus robes are now going to be recognized as Zeros items in the God Wars dungeon.
Untradable items that typically convert into another item on death now count towards the bounty hunter risk calculation used to represent the skull risk values in Damon's Crater. So that includes the Armadillo Godsword, Berserker Eye, and Abyssal Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the specific version. So Armadillo's Godsword, Dead Man. But I don't do bounty hunter.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about. I don't.
Yeah, true. Probably if you play Bounty Hunter, you just don't listen to us, so that's okay. The right-click option on Matthias, the Falconeer, is now more helpful for players whose Falcon have despawned.
The Robe of Validness has gained its gold color when worn.
They fixed a bug where on a rare occasion, Quarm patches would harvest a Vanto.
That one's insane.
Yeah, that is wild.
I wouldn't even think to report that's a bug because I'd be like, wow, I guess I just planted the wrong herb.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to like record yourself
I'd be like, wait, what?
doing herb runs to realize it messed up.
It said rare, so I wonder like how many people even happened to.
It probably happened a lot, but they only found it like recently, so they have to say it's rare.
That's so funny. Fix an issue with loading friends' chat channel names where extra extra text could sometimes be included.
And lastly, they fixed numerous visibility issues where NPCs and objects become invisible in certain scenarios.
Jesus.
Yep, so that's it.
We do have some more POH things to talk about.
We do, because...
Do you remember? I referenced it
you
earlier.
referenced it.
I was like, what happened to the curtains and the rugs?
I didn't know what she meant, and I went snooping on the subreddit, and apparently...
Some people are upset.
Some people are upset, and some people are just not used to the way Jagex is rolling these days. And I mean, I didn't think much of it, but we went back, looked at it. You know, shout out to the person that said that we don't research our episodes, because we don't. This is a rare occasion.
Someone did say that. Just a heads up to you guys. We read the blog posts, and this is just for fun. We're having fun. We're not paid to be here.
This is an opinion podcast.
Casual.
Yeah.
Don't tell us we're wrong. It'll make me sad.
Yeah. Also, we're not the wiki. You know, if you want real information, just go check out the patch notes for yourself.
Yeah, maybe a different podcast is more accurate. I don't know.
But anyways, we are doing our best in this situation. We have done a bit of research, so hopefully.
Yeah, that's one thing is researching is sometimes really boring if it's like looking up something lame. This was interesting to look up because it's kind of dramatic.
Sometimes it's really tedious or hard to find, but this one was just straight up.
It's like 10 minutes.
Easy to find, especially because we've seen Jagex, especially now we've been doing this for a while. They've done this many times in the past.
Very easy to find and enough gossip to last me my entire morning break. We talked about this.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, these player-owned housing update did come from a game jam a while back, and then it went to a poll, and then it went to obviously this update.
Yes.
A lot of people are actually pretty upset about this update, and at first I didn't realize why until we went back and looked at the update and the poll that you referenced.
Yeah, this is from September 7th of 2024.
Yeah, so quite a few months ago.
Yeah, so they talk about more POH customization. They say on here that if this pitch passes the poll, we'll add new options for the altar room, portal rooms, and combat room, plus an assortment of decorative pieces to adorn your space, which I guess they kind of did. We want to include theme sets so you can kit your house out in cohesive aesthetics, starting with Varlamore, Prif, Canopus, and the Wilderness. We want to let you fill your decoration spots with hanging tapestries, potted plants, stone gargoyles, mounted weapons, and much more. You'll also see more variety for altars and combat rings. Whatever your vibe, we're sure to have something for you.
Yeah.
They didn't add all that.
They didn't add almost any of it, actually. And
also, I'm just happy I wasn't tripping. I was like, I thought there was a Prif theme. There was a Prif theme.
There are archived photos of the concept art for all of these things we just referenced,
cool.
Including weapon racks, armor racks, different things that to show off just in your house to make it look more like a house instead of like a place you go to teleport. And none of those things made it into the game except for, I mean, as we just mentioned, like a handful of things. But it was dozens of things, to be clear.
I don't get why they didn't acknowledge it. So my first assumption was, it's probably how they always do it, where they're going to go and like update it like in a couple weeks.
But no, Mod Blossom let us know that was not the case. They were not planning on adding pretty much anything else,
at least in the foreseeable future. So there was a Reddit post. We were like fully sleuthing on break. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But Jagex Blossom, which how funny it'd be if this wasn't her and it was just like someone's name.
No, definitely.
She said, sorry we weren't able to bring you the Wilderness style. I'll make sure it's noted that there is a lot of desire for it, but right now this is all we're currently planning on releasing for this.
Yeah. And other people mentioned they want the Prif style as well. And
I would have liked the Prif style.
There was no response to that.
Yeah.
So really, really unfortunate because not only are we not getting the separate styles,
but they didn't acknowledge it.
They didn't acknowledge it, didn't say that it was actually happening. And a lot of people were, coming to the defense of Jagex, which was weird, and saying like people don't know how to read. It says in the poll question.
I'm just trying to find, the blog was in a different tab. It was in a different window.
Oh, it was in a different window. The poll,
we have like 7 tabs open.
The poll question itself doesn't say, do you want the Varlamore and Canopus themes to come to the game? It says, should we add more POH customization options to the game?
Which sounds vague.
If it was full stop right there, this would be fine.
We still complain, but
they said as detailed in the blog, which Michelle read verbatim, all of those things, mounted weapons, stone gargoyles, tapestries, potted plants, none of those things made it into the game.
Which sucks, but I mean, at least just like acknowledge in the blog and be like, we decided that's not what we want to go with.
Yeah, like maybe you can at least be like,
There
you know,
wasn't dev time.
because like timelines crept up on us. We weren't able to deliver what we wanted, but here's what we have so far. Maybe we'll revisit this in the future. Like a normal human sentence would have been enough.
It's just like really weird that I came to the defense immediately too to Robert. I was like, no, they're just gonna add in like 2 weeks probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, unless Blossom just meant for the foreseeable future, because I mean, she's not the official blog post, you know, so I'm not gonna hold her to her word as crazy much as I would this, because she's just commenting in her free time.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It's really weird, and I'm kind of sad about it because I wanted more customization.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is kind of just the modern MO for how Jagex is working. For anyone not understanding, they've done this many times in the past, and not even like the past. They do this almost every other patch.
The Guardian of the Rift, what is it? The lantern?
The Guardians of the Rift lantern that got delayed for like literally 8
that was
months
supposed to be
straight.
tradable, right?
No,
supposed to be-
it was supposed to be buyable.
Supposed to be buyable, and then they just made it untradeable, and then like over a year later, I think they were like, "Fine, we'll make it buyable."
Yeah, they finally brought it back, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they just straight up, and
The
they
stuff they added is cool.
they omit
but-
it and they don't talk about it, and kind of like it feels like you're getting gaslit by the devs or by the like community managers because no one talks about it.
I will say that the stuff that they added is nice. I like it. I wish that they would just acknowledge it though. We probably,
Yeah.
to be fair, we probably still would have been annoyed, but maybe less so.
Yeah, it'd be the same as like
We
you
just
know,
like complaining, but
it's not that big a deal. It would be online with like.
well, I'm
you
just
went-
annoyed because I specifically wanted the Prifdiness one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
so that's kind of a
Prifdiness
bummer.
and Wilderness were actually two of the more sought after ones over the ones that we got.
Yeah,
But it's just like, you know, communication. Like it's funny because they, you know, pride themselves on communication, and then
they work on it a little
just-
bit.
they don't do it.
So, I mean, there was enough replies on that she had acknowledged it. That makes me hopeful that they'll acknowledge it next week. Whether
Yeah.
saying that they're not going to do it or they will, I just want to know
Yeah,
what's going to
and
happen.
there are pictures. Like someone, one of the biggest posts this week was a user, Cypure, over on Reddit. They made a post saying like it was pretty disappointing on the pitch, and they have a link to what was actually shown. Like I said, there are pictures of what we should have gotten, and there's a ton of stuff that they mentioned, like different altar looks. Like you can get
The Hunter
Saradomin.
Trophy.
You can get a Guthix gilded altar. All of these things look really cool. Ornate scrying pools, all the Prifdiness stuff,
Wilderness
stuff, and this includes themes for the fight pits.
I think that might have been added, right? Something was changed with the combat. I didn't look into it.
For the fight pits, it was just the animation.
Oh, that's the combat. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Was it?
yeah. It was just the animation. They didn't all the tapestries.
Wait, I wonder if that was added because it says here Crystal Bench.
Yeah.
Which is in the screenshot though of the animation in the blog post.
Yeah.
So that might have been added,
Yeah,
but definitely not all of this.
a few things were added, but certainly not all of these things
Yeah.
were added. Not even remotely close.
I like all the different drapes and rugs.
Yeah, and like I said, we've said this many times. It is so many easy points to go after fashionscape things or house things. Very
We love
low hanging fruit.
Fashionscape. Everyone loves it.
Yeah,
Everyone loves customizable POHs.
I don't know why. It's kind of disappointing. It's just disappointing. It's not a big deal, but it's also disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, how do you feel about that?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of links into like someone else saying that like a lot of the content feels rushed, and other people were coming to the defense of like and they even talk about how the newest
Roll Titans.
the newest like birthday event was
Oh.
like as much text as like Doric's quest.
I think that most of it, if I had to guess, obviously I don't know. I just forgot your joke by Dorks.
Yeah.
I think it just probably comes down to the devs want to do all this stuff and they're not allocated the time to do it.
No, it's never
my guess.
it's never the devs' fault, right?
This is just a
But-
remander. Don't go after the random devs. They don't choose what's priority and like the higher ups.
If they could work on something for longer, I'm sure they would.
I'm sure it's probably frustrating to have all these concepts come up, be so excited, and be like, "Oh, there's no time.
yeah.
We have to do something else."
Yeah, it's kind of like in anime, you know, the way that because anime works on like really, really tight deadlines from what I
Mm.
understand. Like kind of unrealistic for most parts. So what animators will do is they'll, you know, just draw like a single picture and then just have like the camera pan from left to right so that like there's some movement. And then all the time that they save doing that, they can just work on the actual good fights that are coming up.
Yeah.
So like hopefully that's what they're doing and that's the only way they're able to bring us good things like Royal Titans or you know whatever other content they come out with cuz the fights have been good. It's kind of like the details that suck.
It's just the small little things,
Yeah, like
really.
the little things just fall through the cracks. Like I mean, these are little things, but it does suck if you say you're going to do something and you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So
I hope that's something that gets
yeah.
changed.
I'm kind of hoping that all of their effort is going into like the new Delve boss and it's going to be sick or
I mean,
whatever.
I'm sure a lot of it is going to Varlamore Part 3. Like, it's going to
Yeah.
be a big update.
Yeah. I'm hoping whatever they're cooking up for the summit is good
I'm
because
excited for that.
I'm guessing that's where all of their like actual dev time is going. And I'm sure like one dude worked on this,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I just hope that this is something that they go back to. Please,
Probably
please go
not.
back to it.
They never go. It's funny. Like this is,
They do the rune crafting thing. They went back to the lantern. It just took like a year.
yeah. It's so funny. I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
keep playing this game. I'll be here in a year.
with devs in any game, to be fair, with devs in any game, unless it is written into the patch and it is going to happen, it's not. Just don't hold your breath. It's not going to happen.
I'm gonna hold my breath the entire time.
Oh, good luck.
I'm not gonna hold my breath. And sometimes whenever I'm watching shows, do you guys do this where you watch someone struggling underwater trying to hold their breath? Do you guys ever hold your breath along with them to see if you could do it?
No.
No, like me either.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, I feel like I can only hold my breath for like 5 seconds.
Oh,
If I had to,
yeah.
you know, I'm sure I could longer.
It's definitely a train skill. Like I haven't swam in years, but whenever I
That
was
probably doesn't help me that I haven't swam in years.
yeah, whenever I was swimming for my training for my triathlon, I could swim full length back and forth without
Cool.
breathing. And I think I timed it one time and it was a little over 90 seconds.
That's so cool.
That was probably the most I could ever do.
The thing is, I also wonder if it's not as bad as I think, and just because I'm doing it above water. So we like are talking about if we do like maybe want to go to Hawaii this year. So that'll be a good test. I sound so bougie when I say this. I refuse to swim here because the water is like too dark and I can't see anything.
No,
But
it's not recommended to swim here.
is it not?
No.
Because of the gross water,
Uh,
the toilet water.
well,
it
yeah, it's like you're either swimming in the bay, which has gross toilet water slash like boats in it, or you're swimming in the ocean, which has like sewage, like actual
That's I meant
sewage in it.
sewage.
And so it's like just generally, unless you have a pool, you're not gonna die going into the beaches here.
If you're on vacation, that's different. We mean like all the time.
Yeah,
living
and we
here.
do get, and it's like, I mean, obviously you don't be scared of the water, but
You're not gonna die.
there are stingrays and jellyfish and great white sharks here.
I remember my sister sending me a Snapchat of her after getting stung by a what's it called? Stingray?
Yeah,
Because you have to do a stingray shuffle. You have to kick your feet in the sand so you scare them away.
yeah,
But anyway, if you have been to Hawaii, we've been to Oahu and Kauai. The water is so clear and warm and nice. And I'm like, I could still definitely get bit by a shark, but at least I can see what's going on around me. So I could try to get away if there's a shark. The water here is dark. I could not do that.
True.
I'd be gone.
yeah.
I'd get eaten. And the
For
water's
anyone
cold.
that doesn't know, it's actually a very well-known fact that off the
Ew.
coast of Southern California is a very active breeding ground for great whites.
Yeah.
They like the cold water.
There's one place in specific that leopard sharks are always at. La Jolla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But also people recommend going snorkeling there. So, you know, you probably realistically
You're probably not going to get hurt, but
realistically sharks don't want to hurt you, but maybe we're a little bit of babies. And that's okay.
Yeah, we just prefer. I prefer swimming in a pool. It's also just
don't
generally harder to swim in the ocean as well.
Dude, whenever we were in Oahu,
Michelle got churned by waves for like
Massive
2 minutes
waves.
straight.
Every time I stood up, I just get knocked over, and Robert said I looked like a whale rolling around.
Yeah, dude, waves don't know stop. They are
No.
unrelenting.
I looked like such a tourist, probably. I was just like sunburned, getting knocked over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked so dumb. Anyway, how long can you guys hold your breath? 5 seconds.
But yeah, that is it for this week's update. There really wasn't a lot going on this week. Just, whatever drama Jagex was cooking up by not giving us the update that they pulled. But
Your Duolingo picture when you just went to check for
oh, did you
screenshots.
see it?
He's just, is he
'Cause-
alive again?
Yeah, because Duolingo died for a little bit, and he's been since raised.
Are those supposed to be clips holding his eyes open?
I don't think it's clips. I think like he's like come back, like he's Jesus.
He is risen.
Jesus comes back. So,
Jesus is
spoiler
coming?
alert, he comes back. But
Whatever,
so
you
does
just do
Sue
that.
does Duo.
Sue does.
Sue does Duo.
Mm.
But yeah, so that's it for this week. A little bit of drama. Let us know what you think about the
Disappointment.
them omitting stuff. Is it a big deal? Yes or no?
Yeah. I'm just upset about the Priv thing.
Yeah.
I maybe would have wanted that.
Yeah. Do you think it's a big deal whether they do 100% of what they blog and poll or no?
I say just acknowledge it. Just acknowledge it. We'd still be mad, but at least we'd have an answer. Because right now, I'm still obviously holding out hope that we're gonna get it.
Yeah, like if you didn't have
Take away my hope then.
like the no life fact checkers going through and being like, yo, where is this?
Yeah.
People wouldn't know. Because they don't say, oh, we couldn't get to this or whatever. It's people like, oh, you said this 6 months ago whenever they pulled that and they didn't do it.
Shout out to all of you who do that. You guys are really keeping us on our toes.
Literally 6 months ago.
Yeah. Moving on to the Q&A.
Yes.
Actually, a little bit before the Q&A. So last week we did a poll if you guys think we can say shit.
Bad words.
The verdict's in. We can say it. People still consider it clean. In fact, Zachary said, I personally don't mind either way about curse. I'm a mailman in the Midwest. So it's earbuds. I'll just walk around town. And we also called him out last week for saying supper. And he said he'll say supper or dinner.
Oh, okay.
So that's funny. Also highlighted the fact that you're wearing the same shirt, which you are doing again.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah.
You only need one shirt.
And Kurt pointed out that I found it funny y'all talked about getting more family friendly and black market prostitution in the same episode. That's just the vibe we're serving up.
Important parts of history, both of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Being family friendly with prostitutes.
Yeah, you know what? If you're over 18 in that family, you can go do what you want.
Well, you know what that reminds me of I've seen like TikToks about this in the past, and then again recently I was like recommended them. But I guess in Japan, this is currently is based on like I don't know whatever social structure they have over there, but I guess it is not uncommon. I don't know about the majority, but it is not uncommon for men and women to think that going to like a love
sex worker?
like a love hotel brothel deal isn't cheating because it's their job. It's not like you go there and you fall in love with this lady.
I can see it.
You go there for work.
It's kind of like the same vibe as like people go to strip clubs and think that the strippers like them. It's like they're working. They don't. That's their job.
Yeah, but yeah, like so the guys and the girls would be like, obviously some would be like, yeah, that's cheating, but a lot of them would be like, no, that's not cheating.
To be fair, I've seen the thing you're talking about. This is from like a video, like a TikTok or something. I'm asking around people.
I've seen a bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
So it's not just one, like a viral one or whatever.
We're also only seeing whatever those people edited into the video.
Sure.
But enough people said it for it to be like kind of noticeable. I personally consider it cheating. But
yeah, for sure.
I definitely understand the mindset. Like, it means nothing to the other person. But at the same time, you could just go and casually hook up with a friend and it could mean nothing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. Like, where do you draw the line, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know. That was kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah. No, it's just because talking about prostitution reminded me of that.
Reminds me whenever we were in Amsterdam, we went to the red light district during the day.
Yeah, it's much like Vegas during the day where it's like, wow.
Well, it's like, yeah, Vegas during the day, but no one's there. It was like weirdly empty.
Yeah.
It was so funny though, because like, like they have like the red lights and the women sitting in the windows, but they're like bored because no one's there, so they're on their phones. And I'm
even
like,
at 9 a.m., there's chicks in the windows.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta work.
Yeah, they gotta work. Yeah.
I wanted to go to that museum.
Yeah.
There's like a sex museum or something, or like it's the history of sex work, which sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But I heard there's a sad part at the end where they just talk about women who were murdered.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't hurt people. That's my conclusion there.
Yes, the golden rule.
Don't be a murderer.
Well, no, do to others as you would like to be done unto you.
Unless you're suicidal, in which case don't do that.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that more. I haven't thought about that.
Okay, well we can.
Yeah.
And another thing, they should legalize sex work because people are still going to do it, and it's just more dangerous if you don't. Anyway, we can move on.
Okay. Well, let's move on. First question from Harger.
So, do you think sailing will play a part in daily gameplay 4 years after introduction, or do you think it'll be a big hype at the beginning, but not really play a big role after that for most players? And what do you think Jagex will do to make it a bigger part of the game? I think it'll be a big part, mostly because I'm convinced they'll add a raid that you'll have to have sailing to do. But I mean, I think it also goes with other skills, like unless you add like Slayer moms that are accessible via sailing.
Did you say Slayer moms?
No, because Slayer moms?
Yeah.
No, mobs.
It sounded like you said Slayer moms.
Slayer moms. That could be a good
I was like, is that called a Slayer master?
They're my mommies. Slayer mobs that are accessible by sailing. I could see that keeping it relevant. But most skills, I guess, you don't really keep doing.
Yeah.
Except for like combat and stuff. So that's why I think you would have to tie into combat to still stay relevant.
True.
But I think it will personally, just because they're going to have these islands. They're going to have these, what's it called? Like stuff that you have to go and not harvest, like to make things.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be herbs and stuff that you probably have to go specifically and sail somewhere to get. So I think it will make others, in the effort to incorporate other skills into sailing, I think that will keep sailing relevant.
Okay.
I actually had a very well thought answer for that.
Yeah.
I never do.
What's weird, you learned how to pat yourself on the back too. And it's funny because I was just thinking, if you don't do the Monkey Madness quest line,
where did that come from?
I think Monkey Madness 2, I forgot which one or 2, and you do, I don't know if there's a requirement, and you are able to do the Guthix quest, then technically you would only have Slayer mommies available, really.
You won't get Dirtle?
You'd have Curdle.
Dirtle still.
No, you'd have, I said, if you did Guthix Rest.
Oh yeah, you'd have
So if
Curdle,
you did Guthix
Neve.
Sleeps, you'd have Durdel, Neve, Konar.
And then what's that one girl? The fairy.
The fairy, yeah. Chaldar.
Oh, no. Vanica. No, Vanica's a
Vanica's
different
a guy. Yikes. You're
Okay.
talking about the one
Childar,
from
yeah, it is Childar.
Canifis.
Yeah. Well, just thinking Childar because
No one goes to Childar.
I know, but I have her stuff on my wish list to dress up as her as a cosplay,
Oh.
and I forgot her name.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking of the big 3 at the end of the game.
Oh my god, you guys should do that.
You'd have all the Slayer mommies.
Mommy account unlocked.
Yeah. Oh, true. That's a new account style.
Yeah. You didn't see because you're not on Twitter, but I said about a new account idea where you only get XP by kissing gay frog princesses.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Totally doable. But I am kind of in a similar line of thinking as you, where I think sailing, honestly, I think sailing will probably go the road of like,
Slayer.
I guess maybe Slayer, but like more in the line of like fishing, where it's like, it's going to take a long time to level up, if I had to guess, and you're only going to use it sometimes very sparingly in the late game. Maybe similar to Slayer in that I think you'll need it for killing certain bosses. I think differently that there won't be a raid that requires sailing, but I do think there are going to be bosses that you might want to go to that you have to have sailing to get to.
Yeah, I'm in this like Slayer in that you'll still do it after 99 for whatever reason.
Yeah, like very sparingly, but I do think the leveling process will be like fishing, where it's like kind of you do a little bit of this and that here and there.
Maybe slower XP.
And it's going to be slower, and you're going to like occasionally use it for bosses after 99.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, maybe some gathering if you're an Iron Man, but mostly bosses.
Gathering's the word I was looking for earlier. Yeah, you'll probably go and have to gather things.
Yeah.
That you have to use islands for.
I definitely don't think it'll be daily or anything like that. I think there will be tick methods eventually, but for the most part, I do only really see it as being like a slow grind.
Yeah. That makes me kind of feel more excited about it, us talking about it.
I guess. I don't know. It still sounds kind of lame.
And then Matt also answered that, by the way. To answer this, I would say I don't see any potential for sailing to be a daily activity unless, one, the mods find a way to avoid teleports to lots of areas without annoying the player base, or two, ship combat is a lot of fun. Otherwise, I don't see players doing it because most people are just worried about efficiency. which fair. But I think if there's a good moneymaker, people will do it.
I don't even think it's really about efficiency. I mostly just feel like there's not going to be a lot to do on the water.
Yeah. But that's also just skilling in general. Like most skilling you don't do every day.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to have, because there's not that many ways to level. They've already talked about their ways to level. There's like
Well, to be
6
fair,
or something.
it's probably like other stuff, we'll add stuff later. But that could be years in the future.
Yeah, maybe. And they said that one of the ways to level is depletable, which is like the exploration one.
That's
So
a bummer.
there's really only like 4 or 5 ways to level, and I'm sure there's going to be like one that people don't hate, and people are just going to do that.
Yeah,
So
probably.
it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't even think it's about efficiency. I think it's just going to eventually not be fun.
Okay. Next question is from Matt. Also a question about the OSRS future. In a dark hypothetical future, Jagex mods shut down OSRS servers and strike until they get better benefits and salaries. Honestly, I'd respect that. Fair.
Wow.
They would not have the power to do that, I fear. Their wishes are made public, and the majority of players are in support of the mods. How many days in a row, realistically, do you think the servers could be shut down without OSRS losing the amount of players that will lead to the downfall of OSRS? I think it could be a few months. Because people take breaks in this game for a long time.
I don't know. So they're asking how many days in a row, realistically, do you think the servers could be shut down without OSRS losing an amount of players that will lead to the downfall?
How many days until people start saying, I'm not going back?
Well, yeah.
I want to say 3 months.
It's like month based, right? And a lot of people buy not monthly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would probably say like a long time, longer, unfortunately, than you might think, probably like 2 to 3 months.
I think that as well. I'd like to think most people would be supportive of it, but also that's just because I'm supportive of strikes if people are being treated unfairly. So I don't know if I'm biased and want to assume the best and that everyone be supportive.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter whether they're supportive or not, but even if, let's pretend, all of Jagex workers were on strike and were unionized, it wouldn't work because there's plenty of people willing to take their jobs, and it's not like, the thing is that the union isn't big enough and the company's not big enough for it to matter. I don't think.
We should help unionize Jagex.
But yeah, like I said, I don't think it matters though. Because
well, you have to. Okay, now we're just gonna talk about job stuff. But like the point of it is, people don't want to have to hire and train new employees. Usually, I think that's a lot of why people will go with the union stuff at the end because they're like, all right, it's like the cost of it ends up being better than having to pay all these new employees and train, and a bunch of them are probably gonna quit during the training process and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, you have to think about the reason unions work is because there's a lot of people in them. If there's a union of 10 people in a company of 1,000, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it would have to be a lot of people.
So like I said, it would have to be almost all of the employees for it to work, just in general.
Isn't something like 40% to start a union? It's not actually.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is a lot, though. Like, for instance, they're having a strike. My company is having a strike of 36,000 employees.
Wow.
And that's why it's one of the most most effective unions in the country, because it has so many people.
I was going to be concerned, but then I realized, yeah, you're in one of the biggest unions in the country. That's not very doxing at all.
Yeah, if 36,000 people are striking, you have a problem. You can, even if you wanted to find that many people, you could not.
Damn, that's crazy.
Like, maybe even if you could, at that point, you cannot train them all. So it's like, at that point, you have a problem. If 100 people out of your 1,000 employees all go on strike,
I mean,
that's still
like 10% of it.
Yeah, that's still a problem, but that's not like you're stopping production type of problem.
I don't know.
That's like you're finding temps, assuming that you still have some people to train them.
Do you remember when we got laid off and they hired a bunch of temps who were making less than us?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Hargray answered Matt's question as well. I have 2 answers. First is 180 days. After that, players might find other things that interest them more or just realize they're better off not being addicted to OSRS.
Yeah, that's pretty generous. I said 90.
Yeah. Second answer, it might cause so much internet conversation that might even grow the game. To be honest, in this scenario, I think the strike would have to be a couple weeks at most, otherwise people will forget the news. I don't know. I think if they could do it for months, I think it would stay relevant, to be honest.
I think if it was...
Because people would be like kind of impressed.
If it was every worker up to and including middle management that went on strike, so not any of the bosses, not any of the,
Up till supervisors.
Yeah, exactly. So anyone that would be like a department lead or something like that, like those people could stay, but anyone under them, those people actually do the work. And I think if all of them went on strike, then potentially it would be dealt with fairly quickly. Like, I don't know, like they'd probably reach a deal within like a month,
That'd
if
be
I had to
nice.
guess. But because that would probably shut down production like straight up immediately.
If they went on a strike, would we keep doing the podcast as just a strike update podcast?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
why
we'd probably
not?
just talk about other stuff.
Yeah, I'd probably start playing other games more.
There's other gaming news to talk about all the time, but we just usually only talk about RuneScape.
We're not called other gaming.
Okay, we're not called
Booze.
other gaming news. Is what she's trying to say. Sorry for everyone that doesn't know Blood Talk. But I think that's it for this
Sorry.
week.
Want to do our little outro? You want to start it?
Yeah, if you liked what we talked about, then you can join in on the conversation. Look at any of our stuff on our socials.
Our TikTok and Twitter, Bunebapeosrs, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky are all Bunebape. I stream 4 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape. He forgot to say, if you don't like what we're talking about, don't tell us.
No, you can tell us.
You tell us, just be
Constructive
nice.
criticism is fine.
The person who said something earlier this week, they were like fairly nice about it. But also, if you like the podcast, follow on Spotify. Apparently it helps the algorithm. And yeah, let us know what you guys think about all the things we asked about that I'll probably forget about when I'm editing.
Yeah, feel free to ask us
what to do for my poll.
Join the discord.gg/Bunebape. We have questions over there.
We do movie nights on Saturdays.
Go ahead and go to any of our socials if you want to keep up to date on any of our stuff. So hopefully you all did like it. And if you did, then we'll see you all
Very soon.
Bye-bye.